Bianca Maberas was in school when she suddenly felt the ground start shaking violently.
My classmates and I ran outside. I was scared because the earthquake was very strong. I'm so sad because our house was badly damaged and Papa said we can't live there anymore.
Bianca and her family now live in an evacuation center, along with thousands of displaced families forced to endure the discomforts of living in makeshift tents. The situation is different for 8-year-old Raymark and his 2 brothers. They lost their parents when the quake triggered a landslide that buried them on the rubber tree plantation where they were working. Now their grandmother takes care of them.
Every day, I still wait for my son and my daughter-in-law to come home, hoping they are still alive. Their sons miss them so much.
Operation Blessing reached out to these mountain villages to provide food for the earthquake survivors, medical care, and trauma counseling.
Thank you for your help and for your prayers. I am trusting God that He will help me raise my 3 grandsons.
In the midst of disasters, it's the children who are the most affected. They get sick from exposure to hot and cold weather, and they share the burden that their parents are carrying in the difficult situation. That is why Superbook came along with Operation Blessing to minister to the children.
This is the first time that Superbook is running their disaster relief program, and it's their hope that these kids will be able to overcome the trauma that they experienced during the earthquake.
We are using the story of Job and telling kids how, in spite of all the disasters that Job went through, he still was faithful to God, and how God restored him. And that's the plan of God, even though we go through times of disaster in our lives, that God's power cannot be limited by our situations.
Bianca was among the kids who watched Job's story. She says she learned a lot from Job.
Like Job, I am also undergoing trials. We lost our house. But after watching the story of Job, I am not sad anymore. I can pray to God and He will help me.
You know, the salvation poem of Superbook in Tagalog, it translates to, "Help me, Lord, start over again." And I offer my life to you. That's the prayer of these children, that the Lord will help them start over again. So it's a blessing for me to see how the Lord uses Superbook to help people who have lost everything and even lost family members, and for them to sing that to the Lord and ask Him to start over again. I'm sure the Lord is listening and He will be faithful to answer their prayers.
Thank you, Superbook, for coming to our village. You made us very happy.
Lucille Talusan, CBN News, North Cotabato, Philippines.